Hello, and welcome to another battle report from Santa Barbara Wargaming. I'm Paul again, and I'm going to be playing a 35 points against Jim. He brought Legion, and I brought Trollbloods. We rolled off, and he chose to go first, and I chose my side. Today he is bringing Bethayne in her battle group. We have a Seraph, a Ravagore, and a Shredder. As well, she brought a Spell Martyr, a Forsaken, a full unit of Hex Hunters plus Baal, and the Death Stalker. They were advanced deploy. For my list, I decided to try pMadrak. I haven't. I've never played him before. I kind of skipped him over when I got the battle box, and I thought he'd make a good try. So I'm going to give him a try. I've got the Earthborn, Rock, and a Pirate Troll in the battle group. I've got a min unit of Krillstones plus the UA. I've got Janissa and a full unit of Femblades. I could not fit in the unit attachment for the Femblades, but it was definitely missed. So for Jim's first turn, he ran up the Hex Hunters, kind of spread them out a little bit, funneled them in between the forest and the obstructions there. We played these rocky outcrops as obstructions and the terrain around the outcrops as difficult terrain. Far off to the left there, you can see the Death Stalker hiding, kind of covering the flank. Behind that, he advanced the Seraph, the Ravagore, and the support troops. He put out Ashen Veil onto the Hex Hunters, which is a really good option, bringing them up to defense 16, really forcing me to concentrate just to hit them. And I felt like that was definitely a good option there. Carnivore on the Stinger, I think that's kind of to give the Stinger a little bit more oomph for its one-hit wonder shot. So advancing up, I think pretty good advancement, kind of clumped up the Hex Hunters a little bit there, maybe spreading them out around the obstruction to kind of cover both sides might give them a little bit more viability, but you can see there that kind of chose his point of commitment, and we'll see some skirmish over up there between funneled between the forest and those outcrops. So for my first turn, pMadrak's first turn is usually pretty uninteresting. You have usually two choices. You can upkeep Surefoot and then put one in the stone and possibly camp one, or you can put up all in the stone depending on if you really need Surefoot. But depending on it, you often want to get Surefoot up early so you don't have to pay for it in the next rounds, as well as you don't really often need a very full Krillstone, although it does help so that you don't have to keep replenishing it every turn. I did miss the Runebearer in this list. With Fury 5, you are very much limited, especially with his very expensive spells between Surefoot and Carnage. So he often doesn't do very much with his Fury, and so it's just something that is always in your mind when you're playing him, that you don't have a lot of Fury flexibility. So what I did was I had the Earthborn cast Elemental Communion onto Rock, and then advanced up where Janissa had placed her wall. I then ran up Rock. Behind him, I had had pMadrak with Surefoot, and the stone popped and ran. Fire Troll advanced because I didn't have the Fury, and the Femblades, they kind of spread out a little bit. I was trying something a little different here with the Femblades and Tar Pitting. I tried to position my front two right guys. You can see there that they have some kind of wonky placement for their front arcs. I wanted to try to place it in such a way that he might trigger free strikes, and as you can see there, it wasn't all that decisive, but it did help force Jim to think about where he wanted to place the Hex Hunters, and I knew that since they're all kind of jammed up behind the front rank, that if I could stall the front rank, that I could limit their retaliation ability. So overall, I thought the brick ultimately might not have been necessary. The Ravagore shot was something I was worried about, but especially at such a low point, you often don't see first or his it would be his second turn retaliation against a brick, and so I might have been able to be a little bit more flexible and maybe even advance up a little further. I felt like when you are going second, I get to advance about 10 inches past my deployment zone. Would have been, which is about as far as the Earthborn and the Rock can go. So I guess that's as far as you can really push them. But I think I ended up not pushing them as far as I could have. You can see that the Femblades, who can run 12, are far in front of the Rock and the Earthborn, who actually could go up a little farther. So maybe pushing a few inches further with the brick might have been able to get around that rocky outcrop in the middle and not have that be such a deciding or dividing element between the two armies. And I think that was it for my first turn. You can see just an overview picture of how I placed the Earthborn and Rock. I didn't want to give him the ability to shoot pMadrak with a Ravagore shot early in the game. He might be able to, especially if I'm going second. Okay, so for Jim's retaliation, you can see that he was able to take out the front two Fenblades, as well as it looked like there was two. I think he was able to take out 3 or 4 this turn. You can see there's 2, and he was able to take out the front 2, and there's a 1 in the middle there, and then I don't think he was, so looks like 3 or 4. Looks like there's 6 left, 5 or 6 left. So he did take a decent amount out, but he could have done worse. I forced 2 free strikes on him with the charge. The front right Fenblade had kind of an interesting front arc placement. So when he committed over to the right through that little gap there, he would trigger a free strike. So I was able to get 2 hits off of them, killing 2 of the Hex Hunters early on. So not a bad little plan, but you can see my my Femblades didn't tar pit as well as I'd like them to. I always like them to roll their tough rolls. So he had then ran over 2 of them over to the left there, kind of in front of my brick. Elsewhere, he had the Seraph come up and shoot, I think, 1 of the Femblades because he was not within 2 inches of anybody else. The Stinger ran up or advanced up to actually spray 1 of the Femblades who was knocked down and tough, so he took out 1 there. The Shredder ran up, I think, or advanced, and I think he actually gave tenacity to the Seraph. Ravagore took a shot and deviated onto. He took a shot at one of the front Femblade, missed to hit, rolled really poorly. It deviated 5 inches back, direction 1, and managed to ping 2 of my Krillstone, and I think he killed 1 of them. Over on the left, he ran up the Deathstalker and the Spellmutter all the way over to the left. I think he actually killed... Oh yeah, because there was a Femblade over... There were 2 Femblades over there on the left, and that's why you can see some Hex Hunters. So he, between the Deathstalker and the Hex Hunters, he was able to take out those Femblades. Beyond that, he advanced up with Belphegor, with Bethayne inside, and the Forsaken. So, this is I think this might be the middle or almost concluding of my turn. So, I knew with a few Femblades left that I needed to take advantage of my feat. Maybe that would give me an extra 1 or 2 kills with the Hex Hunters. A activated Janissa. She moved over. She put a wall because she was blocking pMadrak's path. Put a wall over where I expected him to be. He had advanced over 6 inches. Upkept Surefoot. Cast Carnage. Put 1 on the stone. That leaves him with nothing left. So he wasn't camping any Fury. I had the Earthborn give. What did he do? I think he gave Elemental Communion to Janissa. Or no, to my caster. You can see there the Animus token. And advanced over. I had the Pyre Troll try to shoot at and boost to hit against the Hex Hunters, but I deviated far to the left due to stealth. I had Rock go over and kill both of the Hex Hunters. I then had the Femblades go over, and they were able to take out, I think, 2 or 3 between Vengeance and their normal attack. I was needing 8s to hit with Ashen Veil, and I rolled a few good shots there. Beyond that, I think that was my turn. Getting Rock up there to try to put some pressure onto the beasts in the back. There you can see the Hex Hunters placed. It was actually quite good results. I only got off 1 attack with extra attack with my feet, but I think I was able to. I think it was actually able to hit. But the more attacks, the better. Trying to get those dice to attack. So, Jim, to retaliate, he had his Hex Hunters advance into my Femblades, and he rolled very poorly on attack rolls. Baal actually missed both of his initial attacks with Snake Eyes, which is very, very uncommon. So, I don't think he killed any of the Fenblades. Or if he did, it was not very many, as I think that's what the picture is trying to represent. With his, he did something. He wanted to try something kind of janky with Belphegor and the Slipstream. He's been really trying. He wanted to try the trick out, and so he advanced up the Seraph. He actually ran the Seraph in front of Rock. Then had Belphegor charge the back of the Seraph, slamming into Rock. He slipstreamed the Strider out of the way, or the Stinger out of the way, so that it would not get hit. I don't know why it really came into play, because no one really moved, and because the Seraph was in base to base with Rock. And then he ran up a Shredder to try to put some damage on Rock. He really was just trying to do as much damage to Rock as he could, but his dice weren't cooperating, and I think Rock only took like 8 damage. So it's kind of a little janky move, but he wanted to give something a try, and it didn't really work, in my opinion. He kind of put all of his eggs in one basket. He has Belphegor kind of up front, and the Seraph is definitely going to get retaliated against by Rock. So, as you can kind of tell, things didn't go very well for Belphegor. I had pMadrak, Upkeep Surefoot, Cast Carnage, because I knew I was going to need to, I wanted to make sure I could hit. He then boosted to hit against Belphegor, and I actually rolled a 5-5-6, doing a critical grievous wounds against Belphegor, preventing him from transferring damage. I then had the Earthborn, which is the stunt base right there. He killed the Shredder very easily in front of him. And then I had a rock wrap around the Seraph, taking a mild free strike, killing Balthagor with, I think, 2 or 3 attacks. It really was not all that difficult, especially because he couldn't transfer. So overall, it was a good game. Jim has been trying to dabble in different Legion builds, trying to find what he really likes on the field, and 35 is quite small. I found playing 50 points, you kind of almost have to scale down your tactics for 35 points and almost play the basics a lot better. You've got to have better placement, better threat analysis, especially at lower points, because you have so much buying on a model, and losing a heavy when you only have 2 is quite devastating because you end up being down a beast, and then you really, unless you can get lucky or use another element that isn't a beast, you end up really being down on pieces. So pretty good game. Sort of, I guess, mild tactically. We kind of jammed into each other and kind of end up a little short. I would have liked him to maybe concentrate a little bit more on the scenario, although pMadrak would be kind of, once he got towed into the zone, I don't think he would score any more points, but he did have the opportunity if he killed the Femblades to score a point, but it didn't end up happening. It was kind of a janky list. We both agreed upon that, and so I don't want that to reflect upon his ability to play the game, because it was quite a challenging game. Also, his dice were very poor. He definitely, especially, if the double snake eyes from Baal says anything, that's kind of how his dice went this game. But overall, I was really pleased with the gameplay, and we played another game. So if you want to check out that, go for it. He played Thagrosh kind of shredder spam with heavy war beasts, and I played the same list. So you'll see how this list performed against that one if you check out that the next video. Thanks, and thanks for watching.